Happy New Year. Very happy
New Year.
Happy New Year to
to be
you.
back in this show.
Listen, before we even get into the interview, first off, I want to again I know I text you, but I want to thank you for this fine piece of craftsmanship behind me right here, this WBC belt. I mean, it was an emotional moment when I received it. Everybody is texting me, wow, it's so amazing, so beautiful. It's an honor to actually have that behind me and be a part of the show. So I want to formally thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. My pleasure. Thank you.
See, I see you got tons of belts behind you. So listen, I want to jump right into this Kambosos and Devin thing. There's still people that are calling Kambosos the undisputed champion. Everybody's pretty much calling Devin the WBC champion. If this fight happens, what is the announcer's job? Is the announcer that announces Kambosos at the beginning of the fight going to call him undisputed? What is your suggestion?
I think it's nonsense. I think it makes no importance. There's nothing, those who are purists and just crazy about statistics and record books and all this. I stay with the boxing. The people want to see great fights, and this thing about having this confusion and creating people angry. Well, I understand people see and view things differently, and I completely respect that. The franchise designation just goes to the facts. It has led to Teofimo against Lomachenko against Kambosos. It has led to Ryan Garcia be active, to Devin Haney against great champions, Linares, just Jojo Diaz before the Cuban sensation. So I'm very happy with the activity, very proud to see a great tournament unfolding, and there's so many great fights that can happen, whether it is Kambosos and Haney, Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko, we don't know Teofimo Lopez. There's so much talent. Now Berchelt moving into the lightweight division. So if people want to argue and get mad and scream, and instead of focusing on what a great fight,
on the fight,
the concern is how they're going to announce it. Well, I just simply don't know what to say.
Who cares? We're going to get the fight. That's what's important.
Exactly.
What's wrong with these people?
That's it.
So you saying that without the franchise, those fights probably wouldn't have happened? Because I figured that those fights could still happen just with the WBC belt, the regular belt that Devin has.
It was the franchise absolutely was the avenue to go to where we are today. I have tried to explain countless times. This goes back 3-4 years. Mm-hmm. When Mikey Garcia was champion, he moved up in weight. We waited. We gave him all the time to decide. In the meantime, we ordered fights involving Teofimo, involving Abdullayev, involving, of course, Haney, and somebody else. I cannot recall. Those fights somehow fell apart. We ended up with Teofimo went to the IBF. We ended up with Haney fighting Abdullayev for the WBC interim title. He won the interim title. Then Garcia announces that he's moving up. He's not fighting anymore. And Lomachenko, he petitioned to fight for the WBC title, even when he was the champion of 2 other organizations. And that was the right thing to do, to accept that for the better of the sport. So we had Lomachenko defeat Luke Campbell. And then he petitions to be franchised, which was accepted, to fight against Teofimo Lopez. So we have all this combination of fights. Then Devin Haney went on and defended the title several times. Gamboa, Linares, and this Jojo Diaz. So Ryan Garcia beat Luke Campbell. So many fights took place, all surrounding the WBC and the WBC's moves, which enhanced this to happen.
No disrespect. I understand what you and Ak are saying, but I'm still confused. I'm gonna leave it alone. How many franchise champions are there? Because I read somewhere that Juan Estrada is a franchise champion at super flyweight.
When Estrada fought Chocolatito for the second time last year, an absolute candidate for Fight of the Year.
Yes.
They broke the records of punches thrown. The winner had a commitment to fight Rung Bisai, who had been waiting for 2 years. Rung Bisai is the one who knocked out Chocolatito.
Yes.
He's the one who defeated Estrada and then lost the title to Estrada. He was mandatory. Popular demand, promoters, the fighters themselves, they said, we want to do the third Chocolatito Estrada fight. So the WBC looked into it. We received a petition from Matchroom, from Estrada's manager, from Estrada's promoter, from Estrada himself, to allow him to be franchise in order to go and have the third fight with Chocolatito.
Oh.
So we looked into that. We ordered Cuadras and Rung Bisai to fight for the WBC title, which they will do in Dazn on February 5th. And Chocolatito against Estrada, which it will happen in March, San Diego, Pechanga, on Dazn. And then both winners fight each other. So this is, I understand. I mean, but I wonder why the NFL doesn't get any rap. You know, they move from 17 to 18 games, or before, you know, they have changed the playoff status. How come there's, you know, if people would react like that, then there would be no wildcards.
I think everything takes time though, Mauricio. It's not like, I'm not one of the people who's saying, oh, just throw it in the garbage. You know, I'm not trying to say that. What I'm saying is that I don't understand it. Please explain it. That's all I'm saying.
And I respect everyone who even dislikes it and speaks about it. I respect that, because I know people like tradition, and any change is very difficult to adjust and to accept.
People gotta be able to adjust to change. I mean, there's so many things that change for the better, and a lot of times earlier on, people don't see that because they're taken back by it. But in the long run, it's actually for the better and the greater good. I'm not saying that's what this is, but I'm just saying in general. I want to shift to the heavyweight division and just to give the viewers a better understanding on the purse bid between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte. I know there was like an 80-20. I want a clear understanding on what that is for the people, and if there's an update on the purse bid.
Yes, before Wilder and Fury fought for the third time, the WBC publicly announced that the winner of that fight would have 1 month to secure the ultimate unification against Usyk, who already had beaten Joshua.
Right.
They had 1 month to secure that fight. If they did not do that, then we would go and order the mandatory against interim champion Dillian Whyte. And that's the WBC's position. It's a position that still stands today. And we are open to be flexible and to mediate and to allow agreements to be made. So we are still in the free negotiation period. If there's an agreement within any of the parties and any proposal they put forward, the WBC will support it.
Who creates the splits though? Like I know for Kambosos, Teofimo, I think it was like 35-65. Who creates the split and made Dillian Whyte get 20% and Tyson Fury 80%?
The split is a process that the WBC board takes on.
Okay.
The normal split is 70-30 in favor of the champion.
Right.
And at the convention, Top Rank requested a change in split and provided the information about their earnings the last fights and compared to the earnings of the last fights of
Dillian Whyte.
That's how the WBC board goes and votes.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Okay, I saw a tweet by Michael Benson, and it said that guys like Conor Benn, Mario Barrios, Mauricio Lara, Lee McGregor, and Chris Billum-Smith all got booted out of the rankings for the WBC because they failed to sign up for the drug testing. What do you think about that? Do you think that's they just haven't got around to it yet?
We did every attempt to get them signed up to enroll 3 or 4 months. So it's not a one call or one opportunity. Sometimes is that the information does not get to the fighter, stays with the promoter or the manager, or doesn't get. We did every attempt. We direct persons. They can enroll anytime and get the rating back. But it's a rule that if you don't enroll in a 3-month period, you will be taken out of the ratings.
Yeah, they can't have Mauricio going to kind of Ben's house, knocking on his door like, hey, Ben, you about to lose your ranking. So if his promoters and managers aren't answering the damn emails, that's their fault, Barack.
No, I understand. I respect that you guys do the clean program anyway, so we can clean up this sport. So I'm not opposed to this at all anyway.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, listen, Gary Russell Jr. is fighting Mark Magsayo. Is that how you pronounce it? Because I know you're good with names.
Yes.
Magsayo.
Mark Magsayo.
Right, and WBC crown is up for grabs. Is Gary Russell Jr. the longest reigning WBC featherweight champion? Like, it's been what? I don't know.
7 years.
7 years, right?
Since 2015. He's such an unbelievable fighter. He's a great human being.
That's only like 3 fights, though. 7 years is like 3 fights.
That's a very unfortunate matter.
I know, that sucks.
His inactivity. He got a very good start at the first 2 years of his reign. He was very active, and then he did once a year. Complicated. It has been frustrating, but now we are 3 days away from the fight, and I'm excited. Magsayo is a mandatory, 23 wins, 23 knockouts. It's a worthy fight, and the winner must fight another mandatory, Ray Vargas, former champion, super bantam, who moved up because of this great inactivity. So there has to be 2 mandatories in a row.
I want to touch on Keith Thurman and Barrios. It's an official eliminator. It's different from a final eliminator. Is the winner of this fight going to get a title shot, or does he have to
is it
fight
official eliminator though? Because I didn't hear that. I only heard Keith Thurman said he thought it was.
Yes, it is. Keith Thurman, it's also a long process. He was a WBC champion years ago when he got injured, and the WBC allowed him to try to recover. Eventually, he did not fight any longer, and he lost the title. But he has always had a very direct communication with the WBC. His last fight was a loss against Manny Pacquiao, great, legendary, and he, without a doubt, Thurman is on top of the division. So the winner of that fight will be positioned in line in the tournament we're doing in the welterweight division for the next mandatory. We are trying to get all the organizations together to stream down the mandatory situation. Because if you're a unified champion, if you're undisputed champion, then the rules would be mandatory after mandatory after mandatory after mandatory, and the fighters cannot take on the challenges that could be of great interest to the world. So we're trying to put out some tournaments where the mandatory of one organization fights the mandatory of the other, or there are tournaments within 4, 5, 6 boxers. Then that mandatory fighter has real credibility.
Who else do you have in mind? What other welterweights do you have in mind to be a part of this tournament?
Well, we have Lopez, who is the number 1. We have also in that card, Ramos is fighting against Josecito Lopez, which is a very good fight. Ennis is a tremendous fighter.
Very good fighter.
It's a great division, and we're trying to enhance the activity, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about the ranking system sometimes is that you got guys like Virgil Ortiz, who is a great fighter. He's definitely already proved himself by fighting the kind of competition, former champions like Maurice Blocker, and he's beating everybody, knocking them all out. But he's not ranked nowhere near the same in every single division, and I don't know why that happens, Mauricio.
Well, Virgil Ortiz is the number 1 contender in the WBC. at the convention, we did order him to fight a Venecian, I believe. I'm not know how to pronounce. But Virgil has taken on another fight in February or March.
Oh.
So we are regrouping, and it we can have the intentions and order the fights that should be ordered, but sometimes the business or the TV corporations, TV contracts, promoters get in the way of those fights being made. But the rankings it's a complicated process. The WBC can only speak about the rankings of the WBC.
Right.
I'm very proud. We have a 24 panel, persons from 24 areas. Every single week, they have a Zoom. At the end of the month, they have a lengthy 4 or 5 hour Zoom meeting where they discuss division by division, results, pending fighters, inactivity, results, what happened, what's coming up. It's a process that I would invite you, if you ever like to participate, you'll be thrilled.
Yeah.
And everybody has their opinion, and Dean Lojas, who is the chairman, does a tremendous job. But I believe we have, without a doubt, the best rankings and very precise. There's many criteria to determine rankings. Level of opposition, of course, record, activity, the quality of the fights that you take. It's not the same to fight at home against a decent fighter or a so-so fighter. Is very different than going to another country as the underdog and winning. So there's many factors that are put into the mix, but we do our best to have the best rankings available.
All right, well, listen, Mauricio, always a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for taking the time, and we'll talk to you soon. Mauricio, soon.
If I may say just very quickly,
Sure.
I just had lunch with Tabisi Muchunu, who is going to be fighting in Ohio next week on the 29th against Macabu.
Oh.
They came to Mexico City to get the visa to the USA. And this is a great accomplishment by Don King, because he was able to get 2 fighters from Africa, one in South Africa, the other one in El Congo, to come and fight in the USA during these very complicated times of the pandemic and the visa. So
Don has some connections. Don has some serious connections.
It's going to be a great fight. And I wish you the best for this year, and God bless.
Thank you. God bless you as well.